Hey guys, welcome back to Paramedic Story Time. Now, if this is your first time here, we typically go over different calls, scenarios, and situations that I ran into so far in my past. Currently, I work as a critical care paramedic for a hospital-based transport team, but this scenario is going to be coming from back when I used to be a EMT running BLS calls on a 911 truck from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning. So, this particular day, I was working with this new guy, we'll call him Eric, and he was new, he's only been on the truck a couple times, still trying to learn how to do things, and I've been on this truck for at least 6 months at this point. So we ran back-to-back calls, guys. I mean, we were probably, I don't even think we even had a chance to eat on this shift, and it's starting to get late into that hour. The only thing that we might have eaten was probably some Uncrustables and like 3-ounce Mountain Dew cans that you're going to find these places called EMS rooms in the hospitals. I guess they could be life-saving past midnight. So anyways, it's probably rolling up at like 1:30 in the morning or so at this point in our shift. And I mean, we're just ready to go home, guys. And we're kind of starting to roll up on this time called the witching hour. And what we call this because right around that 2 a.m. mark, like right before that, we can still get calls to go respond to scenarios. Well, it also takes about an hour to get back to headquarters from wherever they have you posted. And that's just because you have to get fuel and wash the truck and restock and everything. So it still takes a minute to actually get off of. So clearly, we're not a big fan of the witching hour. So naturally, as time would have it, the witching hour reared its ugly head, and we got that dreaded late call. And we may or may not have responded as such.
This is fucking bullshit, okay? These fucking assholes, these fucking assholes! The fuck is their problem, man? This is fucking typical cop!
Now it says that we are responding for leg pain at a strip mall. Guys, can you think of a time that you have just been hanging out at 2 in the morning with leg pain at a closed down strip mall? Me neither. We're already tailoring this call, guys. Now, before we go on with the story, I feel like I should explain to you what a frequent flyer is. Now, this is somebody that usually calls 911 fairly frequently, and 9 times out of 10 when they do call, it's not a true emergency. And they just want to go to the ER for whatever reason, but typically speaking, these people do not get admitted very often. The ER staff shouldn't really know you by your typical blood alcohol content level or your common complaint, if you're catching my drift. Alright guys, so we get on scene. It's a vacant strip mall. It's 2 in the morning. Nobody's here. Oh, except for good old freaking Ronnie. Sweet little Ronnie boy. I ran this guy 2 weeks ago for the exact same problem. So obviously, I'm a little pissed. We're getting off late for this, guys. So we pull up. Eric's never met him before, but I go ahead and jump out of that truck and I'm saying, Ronnie, what the frick are you doing out here at 2 in the morning? Oh, he is just grinning. He is smiling, guys. It's like he's happy to see us. Obviously, like I said, Eric, 1, doesn't know him. B, doesn't really know what a frequent flyer is. But C, he's about to find out. So we walk up, ask Ronnie, what the heck are you doing out here, man? It's 2 in the morning. Like, what's up? I guess I should tell you guys who Ronnie really is. Ronnie is a guy who lives in one of those really beaten down, crappy assisted living facilities. You might not know, but here's a picture of one might look like. So he's deaf and he's mute, and typically what he'll do is he'll have this note that he'll bring, and on the note it'll tell basically who he is, his life story, what he had for breakfast, what his freaking sign is, but he'll also say what his chronic problems are and why he's calling today. So I ask him, I say, hey man, I need the note. He hands it over to me. Thankfully, he's at least sticking to the script, right guys? So I read it and it says, hey, I'm Ronnie, these are my problems, and I've had this leg pain for, weeks now, and I've been to the hospital and they haven't fixed it, but I want to go back and see if they can find out this time. So anyways, guys, like I asked him again, I'm like, hey man, like they just saw you over here for this. Are you sure you want to go back to see about this? And he's just still laughing. Like he's laughing at this. I don't know why. I mean, it's a really funny way to show pain. But he says, yeah, I want to go. I said, all right, man, let's get going. And well, what's his next move? Guys, he just jumps up like a spring chicken out of his wheelchair and plops onto my stretcher. Must be some really bad leg pain, huh? So he's laughing, and we're securing him and getting him into the ambulance. And remember I said that he's in a wheelchair? Well, this wheelchair, guys, is just covered in grime. It's rusty. It's sticky. It's just, you don't want to touch it without gloves on. But it's his, and we got to take it. So we do. So while I'm loading this freaking nasty freaking wheelchair up into my clean ambulance, of course Ronnie's just loving it and he's just laughing the night away. Alright guys, so we're transporting. I'm in the back, Ronnie's on the stretcher, Eric's up driving, and we're wishing that we were off work right now. But we're not, and I'm typing away this report. Next thing I know, guys, something's moving on the freaking floor. Nothing should be moving on the bottom of an ambulance. Oh, what did Ronnie bring? Ronnie brought his little unwanted friends with him. Frickin' roaches. So I jump up and I'm trying to squish these things before they move out elsewhere, because this is not something that I want in the back of a freaking ambulance. I have literally gone from being an EMS professional to an exterminator on my shift. Disgusting. So while we're rolling down the road and I'm playing whack-a-mole with these freaking things, Ronnie's just sitting there laughing and laughing away like this is a cherry on the top to his freaking evening. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. So we get to the hospital finally, guys, and we're ready to drop this guy off. And we're pulling in, and well, if we know this guy pretty well on the EMS side, don't you think that the hospital staff's gonna know him well too? So we are walking down the ER hallway, and it is like we are moving the freaking Pope down this ER. I mean, he is laughing and waving and smiling, and everybody else, hi Ronald. Everybody's smiling either with forced glee or with the eyes rolling or something. I mean, we're happy to see you back, buddy. So we bring him into the room, and the ER doc's there, and he immediately asks, where's the note? So we hand it over to him. He says, hey man, I just saw this for a couple weeks ago. What gives? He laughs as he's become the newest addition to this ER for the evening. Whatever, man. You can have him and his roaches. I just want to get off of work, deep clean this truck, and go home already. Now, we got off like an hour late for this transport, which sucks because honestly it wasn't really that big of a deal. Obviously, if there's an emergent transport or something comes in, if somebody really needs us, we would never complain about that. However, just kind of a soapbox thing, you know, if you feel like you need to go to the hospital via ambulance for whatever reason, please always call 911. However, if this doesn't feel like an emergency, or it feels like you can wait to see your primary, or maybe even have a family member drive you to the hospital, I would always consider that. Because, you know, we never know how many units we're going to have on the road. If we're on this call, we can't be on another available call. So that's something you kind of have to consider there, guys. These hospitals are overbooked right now, and going in by stretcher doesn't mean you're going to get seen any faster. You know, a lot of times you can end up going back to triage, and you'll be waiting with everybody else that went there by car. So it's just a little thing for you to think and consider about. At any rate, this was a story about the frequent flyer and his unwanted friends. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the channel. All of your support really helps out. So until next time, thank you for coming, and thank you for being a part of Paramedic Story Time.